I have to give a brief disclaimer for you guys. This session contains scenes that are both graphic and disturbing in nature, especially in parts 2 and 3. It is not meant for the faint of heart. Viewer discretion is advised. Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect Collision. We are here, this is session number 7 of the main squad, and let's get right into it. So we're going to start with the warm-up question. As you can see, our Arcara right now is going to be, she has a little bit of problems with her webcam, so we're going to make do, and hopefully we get to see some of Misty's very talented. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. We're all set.
Let's be creative, guys.
Yes,
Did you
we're
use a
gonna be
photo from
creative.
last week's summer?
Yes, this is all. I mean, that's part of role playing is being able to think on your feet. So spontaneous, yes. So the your warm up question for today, and I want you to think about this. This might be easier to answer for certain people than some. And when you answer this question, don't feel the need to reveal things unnecessarily. If you want to try to answer it in such a way that it dances around certain things that you don't necessarily want to give away at this point in the game, that's fine. So what I want to ask you guys is, what do you believe is your character's deepest regret up to this point?
I'd say her biggest regret would be like having to give up Talia to her grandparents or to her in-laws. Being in that kind of situation that she had to give her up just because she was not ready or just not in the state of mind with the passing of Octavius. So having to give Talia up.
I was curious, Eric, because I don't know if you ever specified this.
Mm-hmm.
Is Octavius, were Octavius and Cicepia officially married? Were they officially married? I never understood if that was the case.
I think I originally did it as they weren't because I had them having different last names. I did have them as different last names.
It made sense. I kind of felt that they wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of made sense for them to not be. So I just was curious about that. Okay. All right. Good to know.
It was a love of passion, and their parents wouldn't approve of it.
Yes.
Octavius and Cicepia, from two different houses divided by a bit of food.
Oh, that's
why don't we go with Dylan next?
So I'd say Sinks, he has a few regrets. The biggest one, and I would say it didn't really pop into his head until after having his conversation with Elias in the med bay. His biggest regret would be his selfishness. And I would say his other regret that's not as big as that one would be Sink being so quick to push people away.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I could do it.
Okay, go ahead, Anar.
Anar's biggest regret is that 1 year ago, he didn't die. That's it.
Okay. We may or may not learn more about that in today's session, so we shall see.
We'll see.
Misty or Elias?
I'm really struggling with this one because
yeah, me too.
Yeah, Elias doesn't have well, he's rather pragmatic, so his biggest regrets are either things he can't change or relatively minor. I suppose one of his regrets, I don't know if it's his biggest because I'd have to really think about it to pin it down. One of his biggest ones is that he feels like he's a really bad Quarian.
don't blame you.
Can you clarify that, please, for people who may not understand that?
Well,
I get it, but I just want to make sure everybody else gets it.
He's feeling very disconnected from Quarian culture at the moment. I mean, he's not going back to finish his pilgrimage. He really doesn't have very many plans, if any, to go back to finish his pilgrimage at this point. And you know, he doesn't have a huge number of close friends or family back on the flotilla anymore, which was a result of the Reaper invasion. So yeah, he's feeling like he's a very bad Quarian at the moment.
Misty?
I guess Arkara's biggest regret, having learned what she did on Tachanka, is that she chose to forget. Even if she could understand why she did it, I think she feels a bit disconnected from everything at the moment because she lost her way learning that, because now she doesn't really know who she is anymore. So I think she regrets having made that choice, even if she understood it, why she did it.
I'm going to be very curious to see how Arkara deals with that, because I think that's a character development plot that you didn't originally intend for.
Yes, it is. So this is going to be very interesting.
So yeah, I was hoping that when I gave that to you, that you'd be able to take it and run with it with however it is you want to do with it. So
yes,
cool.
I like that.
I'm glad. Thank you. So before we begin the session proper, I want to first ask you guys, everyone, roll me a stamina check, please. Roll me a stamina, which is strength based.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh no!
I'm feeling pretty good.
This is gonna be fine.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, how's all you not soldiers doing?
I got a 20.
Elliot's got a 20.
Balls.
I put 9 into stamina.
I thought I was gonna do a lot worse than that. To be honest.
Forgive me, I don't have a macro for this.
Is this gonna?
I don't have time to do this crap.
9.
Cicepia's 9.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't have anything. Yeah.
Arkara's 26.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Arkara's
Here we go.
doing
Oh, wait,
fine.
grab. -4 from this. My thing decided to be Riri.
Okay.
So, yeah, -4.
-4 from that.
And ours
19.
19.
Yeah, I took the stamina for shield boost, actually, I think, so... That's
Oops,
why I've got it.
accidentally went into Bravo's area. That was a mistake. I'm going back down, I promise.
At least it isn't a 9.
Thank you. Okay, that's all I need. Okay.
Oh, so I didn't-
So
I got less than... Wow, that's sad. That's actually quite terrible.
You got a critical fail, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. That's...
oh, you got a critical fail?
I
That's
did,
important.
yeah.
Yes, you
It's on the
did.
4, so it's
Oh, okay.
14, I think, if I'm right.
Well, that's actually, under the circumstances, that actually is fitting. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
That is true.
you guys have just left the facility, the facility that again produces the product. What did I call it? Something to see.
Dextro
Dex.
something
Thank you.
pill?
Dex to see. It was Dex to see.
Thanks to say.
You guys
Yes.
just left. You
And I've
just left.
stolen a few samples, so...
Yes, you've stolen
And the,
samples
and the
of
chemical
Dex to
formula.
see. Yes, exactly. While you were going through the records, you also saw the secret recipe for Colonel Sanders fried Kentucky
Oh, the
fried
11
chicken.
That's
I knew it.
already been discovered,
already-
but I'll take it anyway.
I knew he was an alien.
Yeah.
You can't make chicken that good from this planet.
The recipe for the original Coca-Cola classic from back in the 70s. You know,
with the actual cocaine in there.
with
Yeah.
actually, yeah. It's like it's pretty good stuff in here that you can probably leverage later on, Elias.
Oh, absolutely. The empire is growing.
Your agent
Empire
is your agent is just gonna orgasm like
Well,
anything.
to be fair, some of that he's not seeing all of that. I think I'll just channel that in my business.
That's
So
good.
Nihar is gonna love that.
But the
I think.
dollar signs. The dollar
He's giving
signs.
other dollar signs. This is completely separate. He is my agent for professional engagements, not for business.
There you go. I understand. But so in all seriousness, though, Cicepia just got a very disturbing vision from what she presumes to be his in-laws' house, or at least Talia's grandparents' house, and I guess the rest of the group is sort of, resting on their laurels a little bit because they managed to, save the day once again. However, Cicepia probably is in a much more quieter state or subdued state. What happens immediately after you come out of this vision, Cicepia?
Can I ask where are we at this point?
You are right outside. That's where all of the
Right outside the Dexterity Factory?
right outside the factory. All of the
Okay.
police officers are taking Talia's grandfather to the hospital right now. So he's being like carried onto a stretcher or something like that. And you guys are, I guess, trying to decide what you're gonna do for the rest of the night. I mean, it's kind of late.
Then I imagine again, she's gonna want to find out what's up. Probably
So-
have to figure out where they live. Probably, I imagine it shouldn't be too hard to look up where they live in this area.
Okay.
Because again, getting that vision, that just sends shivers down her spine. So
What is her general expression? Like, does she look panicked? Does she look shocked? Does she look like what is?
I think there's probably a mix of probably like panic and rage,
Okay.
just kind of that, and while still hurting from the mission.
So do you say anything?
Yes, I'm gonna say something.
Okay. So go ahead. What happens?
Thank you, Drew. Talia, I have to find her.
I'm
Kinda
assuming
like-
the rest of the group overhears this.
Are you okay, Cicepia?
I had another vision. There was. It seems like they were probably at their house. Lots of blood. There's
Whoa.
a man. As far as I can tell, I think I have to find her.
Whose house?
I can only assume it's my in-laws' house.
Did your daughter do one of those mind things again?
Yes.
Hark, I want to check the tracker.
Yeah.
Where is it showing the music? Well, I suppose data drive thing to be data disk that I gave.
Currently,
Talia.
you're looking at the tracker, and it looks like it is due. It's in the main city, the residential area of the main city. Probably about, probably about 20 miles away, give or take.
Pi, can we bring up a satellite scan of the city, please, and cross-reference that with the position of the tracker?
Of course, Crater Elias. Doing this
Thank you.
now. He's going to be able to give you an overlay that will show you all the buildings in the city, and it does seem to currently be at a residence, like a. It's a house. It's like your standard family-sized house.
Okay, I get the address and go, okay, they're currently that way. probably gonna
You
have.
know where she is?
Yeah, I gave her something that I can track when I run into her at the McDonald's.
Try to lift him up. It's like, where is she?
I don't know if she's still got the tracker. She's still at what is this? Wow, you guys really aren't invented with names. 2057th Avenue?
Okay. I'm gonna try to get one of the police cars. Try to use my clearance as a CSEC officer. Try to get a car to get to
luck
the
with that.
location.
I want you to actually roleplay this because I want to
Roleplay this?
Yeah, I want you to actually roleplay this. So, who do you go up to? Just some
The main
officer?
chief.
The main chief?
Yeah.
Okay. You go up to the main chief and he says,
Chief,
"You guys,
I
good
need
job."
Chief, I need to use this vehicle. It's an emergency.
Emergency?
Yes.
What kind of an emergency?
We got word that there's an attack inside the city. Or there was an attack in a residential area.
An attack?
Yes.
How did you find out? How did you know?
I heard from my daughter.
Hold on one moment. And he basically radios some of the other officers. Right now, the officers are still trying to clean up and like finish up what they need to do. A lot of them are, as you overhear the conversation, are kind of busy taking care of scoping out the rest of the facility just to make sure that there are no like stragglers, I guess. Because the last thing that they want is for anything that could be dangerous inside of the facility to get out, and then they won't be able to it might be harder for them to find if while they're there, a lot of the force is going to be busy doing that. The officer turns to you and says, give us the address and we'll try to send a force over there once we're done cleaning up here.
Why don't you let me go ahead? You guys got a lot on your hands here.
Are
I'm
you
sure? I
sure?
can at least give you guys a help. I'm positive.
I don't think you quite have jurisdiction here, but roll a persuasion.
Persuasion?
Eric's like, oh, I think I can do that. Just don't roll the 1.
Eric's just been waiting to hit enter on that.
Persuasion?
I'm gonna be honest.
I love how like he's
Cicepia
got.
could persuade God to think that men are greater than he is at this point, because holy crap.
I love how Cicepia is like very distraught, and she's like, I gotta get there. Perception? Persuasion?
Can't hit the broadside of a barn, but can totally make someone shoot themselves.
Exactly!
Well,
What is up
She
with
can't
that?
hit the barn, but she can persuade the barn to get up and move over to where she shot it.
Alright, is that enough?
Yeah, so not only is that enough for him to let you use one of his squad cars, he also notices your friend, your beaten up friend, and again, while he says this is completely like out of protocol, he says as a favor to you, just because of what you did in the facility, he will even let you guys take one of the ambulances as well for your friend.
Thank you. You guys get an hour over to the hospital. I've got to head over to the residential area. I'll
Well,
try
Do
to
you
keep
need
in
a hand?
touch. I'll be fine.
I'm coming with you.
If it's as bad as you say it is, then you're gonna need help.
Okay.
Not to mention if
Remy
she
take
starts
my hand.
moving,
There.
I think Sync, would you mind taking Anna to the hospital?
Sink will oblige, and Drimmy says that he will also go with Sink into the ambulance. Drimmy says he should be able to drive it at least.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Ah, crap! It's stick.
I think Drimmy will be fine.
Sorry.
Oh wow.
I apologize.
Incidentally, while we're doing that, I'm going to slap some Medigel on Cicepia.
That might be a good idea. Yeah.
Quite possibly.
For some feel good butter.
Yeah, you guys have not healed up from your last fight, so whatever hit points you're at before, you're still at it now.
I was at 11.
Well, you're now at 17.
Cool.
So Anar
I guess
and
I'm-
Sink. So Anar and Sink and Arkara and Elias. I'm sorry, Anar and Sink and Drimmy are going to take the ambulance, and then the other three are going to be going into the squad car. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. While we're still waiting for Dylan, let's start with the squad car.
Is the data drive moving at all?
Not at first. Currently, you just started on your way
Sure.
there, so not at first.
Do I notice that Cicepia is breathing heavily and just trying to not fall over the edge? Or is she good at hiding it?
Yeah, is Cicepia trying to hide her grief right now?
Not really, no.
Okay. So she seems very upset. Probably the most upset you've ever seen Cicepia before.
I'll put a hand on her shoulder and go like, focus on what's at hand. You can grieve later. Let's see what's up first. I know it's hard, but you better keep focused.
I don't know what I'd do without her.
Well,
Let's deal
hope
with
you
that
don't
when
have
we come to
find
that.
out.
While you guys are on your way over there, you see drops of rain falling on the windshield on your way over to the house. Meanwhile, in the ambulance...
Real quick, Hark, if I want to roleplay, I'll talk to Jeremy real quick.
Sure, we can do that.
Jeremy, what happened to Anar?
He just passed out. I wasn't really paying full attention because I was too busy trying to get the stupid conveyor belts, like from dumping everybody into the vat of whatever it is that's down there.
Right. Well, it's probably best to get him to the hospital. We don't know what's going on underneath, so we need all the medical equipment we can get to run all the scans that we need.
Do you? I'm trying to think. Do you necessarily think that the hospital is closer than the ship? And we've got a doctor on the ship too.
Oh, yeah.
You included. If we add you too.
Well, now that you put it that way, you're right. Out of character, how you think the ship's closer, Hark?
I got a question out of character. Do you think, Dylan, that Sink would even know anything about Hanar biology?
No, but he probably have maybe a doctor that could.
He can wing it.
Probably would know. I mean, that's a
Virus has worked on him in the past, so at least I got that. Just don't put my tentacles on my head.
I don't think Sink is going to necessarily be prepared to do open heart surgery on you. I don't think he's going to do that. He might know basic stuff like,
Basic NR and anima.
like basic Hanar first aid, maybe. I wouldn't necessarily say he knows anything.
Yeah,
beyond that,
CPR. All it's doing is he's pressing down. You're hearing squeaky noises.
Look, I'll go ahead and I'll tell Jimmy this. I'll look at Jimmy and say, well, whatever's closer to the hospital or ship, take us there.
Okay. While Drimmy is trying to determine the route, whatever route he's taking, this is when Anar begins to. I guess Sink is going to try to do his best to revive Anar on the stretcher. So if you want to roll a medicine, if you want to roll a medicine, that would be great.
Sure thing.
How do you revive bubblegum? I don't get it.
Nice.
Nice.
So
That's a good one.
so my question to you then, Dylan, is are you trying to revive Anar? You'll probably inject something into him. Would you give him something that would wake him up in a drowsy state or in a like adrenaline wired state, I guess? What would you give him?
Just because I don't know what's going on with him internally, I would give him probably an adrenaline state.
Oh, no.
Adrenaline.
Yeah,
Most
just
That's gonna hurt.
just because he doesn't know, he's thinking worst possible scenario, so he's gonna go ahead and give him an adrenaline.
Oh, you're
base.
gonna get the best room.
Okay, you
Love
Jeff,
it.
you heard the man. He's the doctor, so you heard the man.
Okay.
Just so you know, Dylan, we did this scene before you came in, and I definitely did not choose that one. So it'll be interesting to see. No, it's okay. We'll see what
Oh
happens.
crap. All right. How long do you think it'll be before it kicks in?
I'll
Oh,
leave that up to
probably
Dylan.
immediate.
I'll leave that up to Dylan.
Oh shit.
Yep. Dylan knows more about medicine, way more than I do, so I'm gonna follow his lead at this point.
So it's 5 seconds.
Oh god. Then you're gonna get an immediate reaction. He's going to get up, and then he's going to. Make them stop! Get Lennox! Yeah, he's gonna do
You
that for
hear-
a while.
You hear from the driver's seat yelling, "What's going on back there?"
No, calm down. It's okay. Calm down. I'm gonna try to hold his tentacles down.
He's gonna strangle you! Get Lennox! No!
Jeremy, you heard him. Get to that chip now. Drive as fast.
Sure. Changing course now, and then you feel the entire
He's
entire
scratching
ambulance
up, by
like
the way.
shift.
You're gonna have to restrain him.
Yeah,
This is why I asked.
At this point, I'm gonna give him something to try to wheeze him, to calm him down a little bit, a sedative.
All right. Well, yeah, you're gonna give him a
Do
sedative.
I need to roll another medicine or
I would say, well, at this point, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to roll a strength check, strength brawling, to keep him from strangling you alive.
Okay.
Roll an opposed strength brawling check.
Dude, I got a bad feeling he's stronger than you.
Oh, he could get a
I'm not doing this to kill you. This
He
is
could get a
legitimately
critical
how
fail.
he would
Could get a
react.
critical fail.
Oh, jeez.
And Sync dies again.
Dude, you're in trouble. I just upgraded my brawling.
I went to upgrade
This is bad.
at work.
This is really bad.
We were so busy at work, I didn't have time to upgrade my character.
Oh, whoops.
Here it
Well, would you
comes.
upgrade rolling even again?
Okay.
Better roll my fail.
So, Sync, you're gonna try to give the sedative to Anar, but he's just so hysterical and he's struggling, and
Mhm.
his tentacles are wrapping around you, and he basically has your arms bound, and he's shaking you. Cyrus Lennox, get me to Lennox.
Oh, you got-
and meanwhile, the syringe drops from your hand. What do you do?
I'm gonna say, like an out of breath, Jeremy,
I'm done screaming though.
help!
I promise.
I don't know if he hears that or not.
Does what? I don't know if Anar hears that. Do you hear that, Anar?
Freak no. He doesn't hear anything.
Okay.
Oh, he's hearing something. He's just not hearing him.
Okay. Roll another opposed brawling, or another strength brawling.
This is gonna go bad.
This sucks. Hey, good news is though, I don't. Oh wait, beware the poison.
Oh.
Beware the poison. And my roll is even higher than before, and yours sucks even more. That's great. Oh, and I got a wild die. That's
also
even
rolled
worse.
Wild die.
I don't think I have to roll it. We already know I won.
Okay.
Hey, Sink.
Sink,
Sink.
you're
you should
starting.
overheat your arms or something.
Yeah, Sink,
breath.
you're starting to get a little. You're starting to get a little dizzy as it seems like Anar is cutting off your. You're gasping for air. You're starting to lose oxygen.
In
I
a
think I woke up the neighbors.
in kind of like a panicked rush, he's
Shit.
gonna like activate his Omni tool to try and like neural shock. Anar.
All right. Roll me
Okay.
a mechanical, please. Mechanical.
Okay.
I hope it works. I really do.
What skill?
Yeah.
So do I. It's hilarious. Well, isn't it a talent?
I don't remember what to roll for the talent. I'm sorry.
Your
It'll
mates-
tell you in the actual talent.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah, whatever that
I'm
talent.
sorry, guys.
That's cool.
First aid plus 9 plus medicine. You need to choose a sentient being and begin to your omni to roll a technical and medicine.
Yeah.
Technical and medicine against willpower or knowledge, whatever Anna actually has.
Yeah.
Ooh, make a knowledge because his knowledge sucks.
No, but do you have any willpower? Because that's a knowledge skill.
No.
Okay, then it is just a knowledge roll, so you have to do a knowledge roll.
Oh, thank goodness. Dude, you might have a chance. Oh, good, that's a high roll. And mine is garbage. Thank you.
Okay, so neural shock. Target is shocked for 1 round and an additional round for every 5 points above his roll. So
Additional
that's
2.
That'll be
3
enough
rounds.
to link to the
3
ship.
rounds of time. You've shocked Anna for effectively 3 combat rounds.
Okay.
That's gonna hurt. Because if I remember what Neuroshock does...
It's just basically like stasis or anything
It
else.
fries
Yeah.
your nervous
You-
system, basically.
You get
Yeah, you get stunned.
Yes, you get a horrible surge of electricity through your body, Anar, and everything around you starts flashing in and out. You start seeing stars.
Oh, he sees something else
Sync-
besides the stars, actually.
Do you want to describe what you see besides the stars?
Flashes, images, memories, everything that is basically going on his head at the very exact moments. If the most prominent one is him being grabbed and trying to push things away. They look like human hands, if that helps. They're all shadowy.
Okay. Sync, you gasp a large breath of air as you dive down, grab the syringe of the sedative, and then you inject the sedative into Anar, causing him to start to stop flailing around, and he relaxes and calms down. But he's still conscious. He's still conscious, though.
Thank goodness that worked. Oh.
Sync, are you okay back there?
I am. I'm okay now that our friend's a little more calm. Thanks for looking
Okay.
out.
I'm
I really
trying.
hope my
he says.
neighbors do not call the police on me. That could be a legitimate problem.
I'm just gonna get a few restraints just in case he wakes back up, and then I'm gonna come sit up there. I'm done back here.
Does when you put in the restraints on Anar, does Anar say anything to Sync on the way to the ship now that he's calmed down?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I've been in situations like these before. It's okay. Just trying to get some rest and relax. We'll get you to Sorro soon. I promise.
Before he passes out, he says, I'm so sorry. He passes out. Just to be honest, are you even sure he's even talking to you?
He probably just assumed you did. He doesn't really know what's going through your mind. He just assumed.
The vehicle finally reaches the docking area where your ship is currently docked, and you rush into the ship carrying Anar with you, and place him into the med bay, the bed of the med bay. Cyrus is already in there. What happened to him? He says as he turns down to Anar.
Well, from what I know from Jimmy, he sort of passed out. I gave him some epinephrine to try to wake him up. Well, he comes out of it in a stir. He starts strangling me, trying to, kill me for a second time, I guess. Anyway, I gave him a sedative, and he kept screaming for you, so we brought him here.
What was he saying when he was asking for me exactly? He says as he's examining Anar.
From what I can remember, to get him to you. I'm sorry, out of character. I'm sorry, Jeff. I couldn't make out everything you were saying when you were screaming.
Sorry.
Which is in character. That's realistic.
Oh,
So-
okay. I couldn't really make out what he was saying. It was all kind of loud and hysterical.
Yeah, well, I can hardly understand what the guy's saying even when he's sober.
Have you encountered anything like this before with him? Anything you need help with?
Have I encountered this before? Yes. Anything I could need help with? No. I got this under control. He will go over. He examines Anar a little bit more. Then he goes over to the opposite side of the room where the cabinet is. He opens the cabinet. He pulls out a couple of bottles from it. Then he gets another syringe, fills it up, and he injects the syringes. He injects the medicine into Anar's body. And Anar, what happens?
If he's under the
Sedative?
drugs, that sedative, he probably wouldn't say anything. He'd probably still be asleep.
Okay.
The serum doesn't actually affect his physical being.
I think that the doctor will be able to revive you, but not in a hysterical state. He'll
thank
probably revive
goodness.
you in a calmer state.
Drowsy
state.
Drowsy Hanar.
Oh lord. Then he'll start to stir.
Unless you don't think Cyrus would do that. Do you think Cyrus would just let him? Because you know better than me how he's dealt with this in the past. So would he have let you rest, or would he have tried to revive you to consciousness?
Well,
What
let me
would he have
counter that
done?
question with another question. Do you really think Cyrus ever wants him awake?
I don't think he ever wants you awake, but
In this case,
Cyrus-
he would probably let him snooze for a little bit. He'll probably
okay.
get up.
So Cyrus will let him snooze. Okay, that's fine. So we can go back to Cicepia, Arcaria, and Elias.
Yes, they deserve some attention right now. I've done screaming.
That was amusing.
You're welcome.
Cicepia, Arcara, and Elias. You guys arrive at a very nice looking building. I would say it's probably a decently large 2-story house, beautiful yard, garden. The architecture is very well done. Whoever lives here is well off. I wouldn't say, ridiculously wealthy mansion size, but this definitely is a family that is not hurting for cash. By this point, the rain has started to fall, and there's the faint rumble of thunder in the distance. What do you guys do? It's very dark. There doesn't seem to be anyone else around. A lot of people seem to be asleep. It's probably about 10 o'clock at night at this moment.
Probably look to see if there was any forced entry.
Looks like we're gonna have a dark and stormy night.
There appears to be a couple lights on in the house, one upstairs and one downstairs in the kitchen.
Hark, with my Omni tool, because I've got my multi-spectrum, can I actually detect any life signs inside the house?
You will try to do a scan, and you currently cannot detect any life signs in the house.
And the tracker's still in there?
The tracker's still in there.
I don't think she's there, Cicepia. Come on.
We should still search the crime scene, see if there's anything that we can figure out where he might have taken her.
Well,
Let's see
yeah,
if if it actually is a crime scene.
From the vision that I saw, there was a lot of blood.
Has it happened before, and do you know it actually happens when you get the vision?
Again, this is her that's giving me these visions.
It happens.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Let's go check it out then.
Okay. I'm gonna see if the door is like unlocked. Try to open it that way.
You go up to the front door, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
You go up to the front door and you attempt to open it. The door to the front is locked.
Got a key?
Break a window.
You're gonna break a window?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, calm down. Is it an electronic lock, Hawk? I'm assuming
It
is.
is an electronic lock.
Let me have a look.
Okay.
Man, I haven't done this in years.
Funnier after she breaks the window.
I know, right? But that would be out of character, so no.
Roll and give me the number, please.
Sure.
Windows were tacky.
It's gonna be a 0, I think. 22.
You manage to figure out the lock, and the door slowly opens. Your nostrils immediately are invaded with a sulfuric scent, a faint sulfuric scent. It's a little salty in the air, mixed with a hint of cinnamon. It's dark in the room, with the exception of a light that's sort of flickering light in the kitchen. You can hear the sound of the TV upstairs on. But other than that, the house is dark and silent besides that. Very eerily dark and silent. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna be probably approaching. You said that there were no life signs in here, right?
There's no life signs in here.
No.
Okay. Start turning on some of the lights.
You turn on some of the lights, and when you do, you immediately see a staircase off to the right.
Mm-hmm.
The staircase looks a lot like the staircase that you saw in your vision, Cicepia. And when you look down, you see drops of bluish blood on the floor.
I'm gonna try to retrace the steps that Talia was taking and try to follow where she went.
Are you following? You try to follow in your head where Talia was the last you saw her. She ended up going towards the kitchen.
Okay, and make my way to the kitchen.
You walk towards the kitchen, and you see, very shockingly, your mother-in-law on the floor with a large pool of blue blood. From where you're standing, you don't know how she was killed yet.
I should check. I'll have to check her body, see what got her.
As you pass by through the kitchen, you notice that the kitchen itself has not been cleaned up. Their counters still has what seems to be a mixing bowl with various ingredients out. It looks like she was probably going to bake something, like a cake or a pie or something. There's an open canister of cinnamon that it seems to have fallen onto the floor, and there's like a small pile of cinnamon on the floor. When you go over to the body and you turn her over, you see this marks across her chest, like she's been slashed with a very sharp knife across the chest. That's the first thing that you notice, and it's got this marked with an S. It's got this S mark on her chest, and her throat has also been slit.
I'm gonna start cross-referencing that sort of signature, because I'm assuming that might be a signature of a killer with any known cases.
Yep.
Extra search time. Do I need to roll something for that, or I'm currently going through publicly available information.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a. Is there a research?
There's an investigation skill.
Investigation, yes.
See, I don't have that, so that's just perception, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Want me to help you with that one?
Well, I just rolled a wild, so
Roll one.
11. So
11.
I'm guessing, is there anything that would be obviously available from a quick search? 'Cause
Yes.
11 would be, I'm assuming.
There has been several cases as of late of a supposed serial killer. This man has a tendency of leaving a trademark S on the bodies of his victims. As of right now, investigations have been set forth to try to determine who the killer is. There hasn't seemed to be any major connection between all of the victims, except that the only thing that they can think of as seeing any remote connection between the victims is every single one of the victims had some close relationship with a moderately powerful biotic.
I'm gonna see if I can download as much as I can about the other cases.
Okay.
I'm guessing we're gonna have a murder board.
I'm gonna want to search the building, see if I can find Talia, any kind of traces of her.
Okay. You make your way around the house. You see photographs of the family, the three of them, your parents and Talia, on the cases, knowing that those photos are probably going to be what's left of this broken family now. There's toys on the floor, and it just leaves you with a very morose feeling. You make your way up to the stairs, and the sound from the TV is still on. As I said, it's on a cartoon. The cartoon version of Blasto is still playing. Again, there's more toys strewn about. The room smells like your daughter. The type of smell that brings a lot of warmth to your heart, but ironically right now it gives you nothing but fear and doubt. And as you go into the next room from the playroom into Talia's bedroom, you see that her bedroom is in a disarray. It looks like a lot of her things have been hastily packed up. You check her closet, you check her drawers, a lot of things looks like it's been like sloppily grabbed. There definitely seems to be a lot of things that are missing. You go into the bathroom and you notice this pink toothbrush holder that you assume would hold a toothbrush, but the toothbrush is missing from the bathroom, and various other random toiletries. The bathroom itself looks ransacked as well.
This doesn't make sense.
Roll one more investigation, please, Cicepia, and tell me what your value is.
Investigation. know I have that on here somewhere.
Out of character.
There it is.
Getting a real kick out of this.
I said today's session is going to be very different. The feel of the session is going to be very different.
19.
19. On the bathroom floor, you notice something. It's a cigarette case that you would use to roll up marijuana, I guess is what I would probably call that. It's on the floor. Unused. This one seems to be unused. Fresh. You don't have any reason to believe that it belongs to either your daughter or your
In-laws.
In-laws. You have no reason to believe that it belongs to them.
Tough day at work. I'm stressed out. Wife's mad at me. It's quiet.
Elias, while you are continually looking for more information on the cases, the killer has seemed to be all over the place. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to where he goes, and they believe that the killer is a middle-aged male.
What has happened to the biotics? Because it says that the murders of people who are associated with a moderately powerful biotics. Are the biotics still around? Are they missing?
The biotics are missing.
Okay.
Yes. The biotics are missing.
So she gets.
So the good news is your daughter's probably alive. The bad news is I have no idea where or why she's been taken. Other than that, she's a biotic like you are.
There's one more detail that I forgot to mention, Elias, and that the other thing that's interesting about the biotics is that they seem to be in some form estranged to the rest of their family, either because the family did not approve of their biotics. In some form or fashion, they just seem to not have a strong bond or relationship with whoever they are closely the people they were closely associated with. So
the mark on your mother-in-law's chest, it's cropped up around the galaxy here a few times. Well, many times. In each case, it's a family member, and the family member of a biotic who didn't have a particularly close relationship with their family. All the bodies are missing.
If only I'd been there.
Well, then you might have a big-ass carved into your chest as well.
We'd also be dead.
I wonder if I could try to contact her. I know she made a connection with me. I wonder if maybe I could try to
Can
get
you
a
do
hold
that?
Never done it before. First time trying though. I'm gonna try to kind of sit down, try to focus my biotic things, try to see if I can reconnect that connection that Talia had made with her.
roll a biotics roll.
Yay!
Tell me the value, please.
Symbiotic radio towers.
Please no critical fail. Just straight up biotics.
Yes, please.
Yep, straight up biotics. Yep, there you go.
What is the? Tell me the value, please.
14.
You try to focus very hard on your daughter, trying to see if you can forge the same connection that you forged with her before, and it takes you a while, but you do see a quick image. It only lasts for about a second, not more so than a second, of you feel the Blasto stuffed animal clutched to your chest, and you have not a, I wouldn't call it frightened feeling, more of a
Uncertain.
I'm not sure what's going on, I don't know what's going on, I'm confused kind of feeling. So she doesn't seem scared per se. She's in some sort of it sounds like a Land Rover, a small Land Rover-like vehicle. The rain is starting to pick up. Thunder is striking nearby. You can hear the rumble of thunder. And there's a man. You see the back. The man's looks like he's in the driver's seat. She's in the back seat. This is what the man looks like.
It is loaded.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
That's you hear music playing in the vehicle, and it sounds like it's whatever their version of Barney or your PBS special, some sort of kids music, and it's playing in the background of the vehicle. And yeah, so in a second, that's what you see and experience.
Are the biotics that were taken, were they children or do they vary in age?
Most of them are teenagers, actually. Most of them are teenagers. A lot of them tend to be like in that rebellious state. Think Jack from Mass Effect 2. Mm-hmm. Probably not necessarily that extreme, but definitely biotics who have had a hard time either fitting in or dealing with their gift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have not seen any case of anyone being kidnapped or of anyone disappearing at the hands of this murderer below the age of 15. Nobody below the age of 15.
Mm.
Was I able to find any kind of like landmarks in that quick vision? Any kind of...
Yes. You do focus, and you kind of do notice that the city proper itself was to their right. So you have an idea of what direction they're moving to. It seems like they're moving towards the west at the moment. They are out of the city currently, though.
Okay. Alright, come back in from my biotic state.
Arkara, what is happening with you? What are you doing in the house, just out of curiosity, while all of this is happening? Are you in the kitchen? Are you wandering around exploring? Did you follow Cicepia?
I've made my way outside just to see if I can spot anything weird outside to see how he got in.
Good girl. Roll an investigation, please.
Is that investigation, or can I go for a search?
I will allow a search. I will allow that. Technically, it should be search instead of investigation, because this is more looking for something versus looking up something.
Yeah.
I think investigation is more looking up something. Yes. What is it?
I got an 8.
Okay. You tried your best to look around for the way that whoever it is got in, but you weren't able to find anything. What do you do when you exhausted your attempt?
I'll stand guard by the door just to see if I can see anything outside.
Okay. Cicepia and Elias, either of you doing something. Cicepia is still up in the bedroom. Elias is in the kitchen, I think.
Oh, I know. I went to find her to have the chat.
You went to find Cicepia.
Because I'm actually there. I'd be there with her then.
Alright, you will go upstairs and you will find Cicepia in the bathroom. Upstairs bathroom. You will, however, pass by the nursery and you'll see all the toys and you'll see the TV. And there's Cicepia in the bathroom. Probably holding up the wrapper.
The doobie.
I imagine the person whoever kidnapped her is a drug user.
Well, we can add that to the profile. He doesn't take... Well, in known cases, he's never taken a child before. If it is a him.
It is a him. I was able to get a quick vision. Able to get a quick look. from what I can tell, they're west of the city. Sounds like they're leaving from what I gathered from the vision.
She contacted you again?
No, I was able to kind of like briefly be able to get a hold of her.
Okay, west of the city, anything else? Are
No.
they walking? Are they...
They were in they were in some sort of vehicle, kind of like a rover, I was guessing.
West of the city, vehicle. I am going to contact the police chief we were speaking to, I guess, because I'm assuming we'd
Sure.
probably have to do that
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Sure.
If we're lucky, maybe
You
we
can't-
can try to act as kind of surveillance, the street surveillance, see if there's any kind of see if they'd be able to pick up the vehicle that she was in.
Pretty much. That's what I'm going to try.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm gonna contact him.
yeah.
You will contact him, and he will inform you that they already have a force on their way over to the residence. They tell you not to touch anything. Too late. They tell you not to touch anything, and they will take it from there when they arrive.
It's become a kidnapping.
There will be a pause on the other end before he says, "We are almost there," is what he will say.
They would have they've had possibly a 10-minute head start heading west outside of the city in a small car. That's the best I can do. If you have street surveillance, I'd suggest using it.
The chief will say that will thank you for the information, and he will see what he can dig up.
Also, it appears to be linked to the, well, I don't know what they're calling him exactly, but the S-biotic serial killer.
Okay. The chief will also. I'm trying to think what the chief would know. I'll roll to see if he would know of that. Oh, I rolled a 1. He would not have heard of that specific case, but he says he will look into it. He will look into it.
So the child in question is child of a CSEC officer. And one of my friends. Is there anything we can do to help?
The chief officer will tell you that he will tell you that you guys have done enough. They typically do not let people close to the victims be involved because it tends to, for obvious reasons, it's normally not a good idea for someone so close to the victims to actually participate in the investigation process of this case. So he will basically politely ask you to just let them do their job, essentially.
Are any of the planets in question where this killer has popped up outside of Turian space?
Yes, some of them. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to mention that, along with the fact that this is a galactic case.
He says if you want, you can discuss it further with him when he gets there.
We'll be happy to. Cicepia, you're going to have to pull rank on this one.
All right.
This is
something we.
This
is a
is
very
gold jurisdiction, not Invictus.
right.
So basically, they call this killer the Sorro. They call him the Sorro killer. It's basically a play on, how the morose nature of murder in general, a sorrowful nature, but it's Sorro spelled Sorro, because Zorro
Yeah.
uses his. So basically, instead of a Z, it's an S.
Nice.
So that's why they call him the Sorrow Killer, because they don't know what else to call him. The Sorrow Killer. Within a couple minutes, you do hear sirens, and the police get over to the house, a few of the neighbors' lights turn on, and you see some of the neighbors looking out their windows, trying to see what's going on at this hour of the night, and several of the officers emerge. The police chief himself comes out. Are you guys still inside the house when this is happening, or are you
Our
outside the
car
house?
is standing by the door.
Where's Cicepia?
Okay.
I'll start making my way outside the building since the officers are arriving.
Dylan and Jeff, I appreciate your patience.
Oh, hey, this is
I'm
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
I'm
this
enjoying
is
this.
awesome.
The chief approaches the house, and he nods at Arkar as he passes by, and then he sees Cicepia. I hear that there's been a kidnapping,
Yes.
and that you are closely associated to the victims. My condolences.
I believe this is a very time-sensitive matter. Given that these murders and incidences have been happening all over space, I'd gladly offer my support to help this and get this guy and try to find possibly the other missing biotics that he might have had.
I don't think that's a good idea, with all due respect. He says, with you being so close to the victim, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be so closely involved with this case.
Listen, you got your hands filled with the whole incident happening at the factory, and now you've got this. I think my assistance would be very much welcomed in this situation. We don't have much time. We don't know what he's planning on doing. Just let me help you guys.
Sir, when you're having this conversation, one of the officers comes up to him and says, "Sir, here's the file that you wanted to see." He picks up the file, he reads through it. Sorro killer. Several of the officers are already inside the house now, and they're examining the body. And
Hark, is that an electronic file?
I would say so, yes.
Can I steal a copy?
You can probably grab a copy discreetly without it. It basically doesn't really give you any more information than what you already have.
No, but
It's the same information.
Well, no, but I just want to know exactly what the police know.
Okay, sure. The people who are examining the body basically verify for the officer the same S mark that is shown in some of the articles that the report is flipping through. And he says, "Well, you're right about that. This is a galactic-wide matter." Ugh. He rubs the back of his neck. Might be a little bit. Now that you mention it, this might be a little bit over our heads, especially after all of the events that's been happening today. All right, he says, "Officer, I'll let you participate in an investigation beyond my better judgment, but I suppose we wouldn't have been informed of this murder this early if it weren't for you."
Thank you.
"In good faith," he says, "I will allow it."
Okay. Would you be able to send us the information from the street surveillance? See if we can try to track down the vehicle that the killer escaped out of.
Can you get me access to the network?
Who are you? He asks as he turns to Elias, who doesn't look like Elias.
He's with us. Expert hacker.
I see. So he looks at Elias and he says, "So you're the tech," and then he turns to Arkara, "and you're the muscle."
You could say that, yeah.
Pretty much.
"Oh, female," he says, and she gives you a nod, and then he goes over and types something onto his Omni tool to send you the video feed of the cameras, the traffic surveillance cameras.